that one bit where where were they in Fresno, California?
Yeah.
How he points out that Fresno is the number one leading pollution city in California, and these people are cheering for that.
Yeah.
And it's like, we're number one. I'm like, wait a second. Why are you cheering this? You're basically being happy at the fact that you're number one at sucking.
It was the USA chant between Bret Hart and Yokozuna.
That is, you know what? That explanation makes so much sense. I can't argue that. I really can't. I can't argue that. Put that title back on your shoulders. You actually,
Champ is here.
That is a champion moment. I do appreciate you get a golf clap from me.
From me as well.
All right, but. Yeah, you guys are dumb, or in wrestling, you're stupid idiots.
You are stupid idiots,
but it's not meaning in the positive way. No, because that
would be a compliment from Chris.
You're
Jericho.
applauding the fact that you're basically killing the earth. All right, I'm gonna do my one. You guys are fucking morons.
Damn, Tark, tell us how you really feel.
Well, you know what? Speaking of stupid, why don't we talk about what happened during this next match where Dean Ambrose defeated Seth Rollins to become the new Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah.
This crowd, though.
I'm not going to lie. I missed this match. I actually did not watch it.
You didn't miss much.
But from all the reaction that I've been hearing from it...
And that's coming from a Dean Ambrose guy.
I do want to see it, just to see... I even asked... Was this match really as bad as everyone's saying it is?
I didn't think so.
The only good that came out of this match I texted you about. What I said, I am so surprised Renee didn't there and then.
Yeah.
With the shit that Corey Graves was saying. And I love Corey Graves. But they are doing fantastic. I think the story of it is overrunning their work together, because their work together, for whatever reason, they cannot get on the level that they were at during their old feud. Was that Night of Champions or Money in the Bank that one year, or what? When it was Dean, it was Night of Champions when he brought, when they did
they had the ladder match and they both held the belt.
They had magic then in the ring and promo wise. Here, this time around, I think it's just the story of Renee being on commentary, Roman being out, and the two of them doing what they're doing to each other, and the story is overruling the wrestling technicality and decency of matches. For whatever reason, they can't strike that magic in the ring that they used to.
Well, this is the first of obviously a series of matches.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is going to go on.
They're probably
till February if what we're hearing about Seth Rollins is true.
Well, that's still I guess we're going to see how, considering how Vince was furious how the crowd turned on this match, and how the flame of this is kind of dying down between both Dean and Seth. They're probably just going to be their match at Mania, but we're just going to see how this storyline goes to build for Rumble.
When you get a chance, watch the match, and
I'm still playing.
You'll take away more of the commentary and the story aspect than you will from the match itself.
Did the "This Is Boring" chance, was it justified? That's all I have.
I don't feel that it was.
I think the only defense that this match has, as you're stating, Jeff, is the fact that maybe it was a decent match at best, but it was sandwiched in the filler position of the card.
Yeah, and that's honestly, I'm at the point where I genuinely believe that, even though the match wasn't the best, most people who were watching it, at least live in that crowd then, was really just looking forward to the next match, or the main event rather. But yes.
Keep in mind, you also have, even if it's not one of the top 4, you're looking at 4-hour pay-per-views now. Mm-hmm. And this spot is brutal. To be sandwiched between championship matches in their own right is brutal on a 3-hour card in any wrestling event. to be the match before the main event is a dreaded spot because the crowd has died down or been burnt out. You add a 4th hour onto a nonsensical pay-per-view, it shouldn't happen. Like, 5 hour and 3 hour, I believe, should be how they're going to roll with events. If they're going to make the top 4 or 5 hours, then go back old school, and for the events like this, make like 6-7 match cards 3 hour. I think 4 hours on an event that doesn't matter is too much.
I totally agree, but you know what?
It's not going to matter because they're just going to stick to it.
Of course. Just like Raw is going to be 3 hours till the day we die.
You know what?
But
if anything, switch this. If they were going to keep this match on the card, have Dean and Seth open the show and have Carmella and R-Truth versus Mahal and Alicia Fox.
If it weren't on the pre-show, that should have been in that spot.
That would, or as we used to.
And
call
I bet it would have
gotten.
match. I bet it would have gotten better reviews had it opened the show.
It probably would have.
Who knows?
And like with a tired crowd waiting for Becky Lynch, a 3-minute match with a dance break could have helped.
I totally agree.
At least keep them invested.
Mm-hmm.
But now, finally, at long last, here we are, the main event, triple threat women's TLC match, and lo and behold, Asuka wins, finally, going over Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair.
Closing out 2018.
Thanks to Ronda.
Full circle.
Yes, and I'm just going to come right out and say it. I love this match. Match of the night, easy.
Mm-hmm. Like I said before, this was my match of the night on the term of spectacle.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. These women did not hold anything back on this match. If I have to choose one of them that took the most out of this, it had to be Charlotte. What I mean by taking it, I mean like she got the most damage taken to her, especially that one spot with Becky Lynch having Asuka and Charlotte on the announce table, and her doing that jump. And the next thing you see, Asuka leaves, and Becky bounces
ass to rib cage,
bounces off Charlotte's chest, as you said, ass to rib cage. And it must have just been so killer for Charlotte to drop that F-bomb.
Me and Jeff spoke on this earlier this week, I believe the day after the event. And a topic of discussion was you can't fake gravity in wrestling. And off that ladder, the way she landed, I went back and watched that at least 4 or 5 times. And straight on her rib cage.
It's just like to think. Normal, it's like, oh yeah, we're expecting these tables to break. Oh, wait a minute, you forgot the simple fact that these women are at least like $170. Well, compared to like people who are guys who are over 200 pounds jumping off ladders, going through tables, or spearing one another through the barricade.
And Charlotte, there was still a lengthy amount of time and bumps that Charlotte took after that.
Exactly.
It took you back to like when Triple H would genuinely get injured in matches and still fight on. Yeah.
Charlotte definitely has taken that reign of being the Triple H of the women's division of WWE.
I can see that.
I gained a lot of respect for, and you guys know how much I insult Charlotte Flair. I gained a lot of respect for Charlotte Flair in her showcase in this match.
And you can say Becky Lynch is the Stone Cold and Asuka is the Rock.
Yeah.
I can see that. Although I have to say, in all my years of watching Triple H matches, I don't think Triple H ever gave anybody an angry motorboat.
I heard about that.
Yeah,
it was after the spear.
That was apparently another moment that a lot of people were going back and rewinding.
Well, yeah,
and then most people are also just adding that little logo, Brazzers.
I gotta say that, that was.
I could feel your implant.
That was very interesting, and then it panned up to Charlotte's angry face, and I'm just like, huh? Oh, scary! Angry Charlotte, bad. No. But yeah, that was an experience.
And I will say, like, even though we both got the prediction, again going into that's like, how did we not see that coming? Ronda Rousey coming in and costing both of them the match.
Probably because Ronda's a face, and faces don't typically do that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, well, she said it. Payback's a bitch, and she's the toughest one of all.
Mm-hmm.
And you probably are still sticking to that singles match, but I think that may have solidified the triple threat at Mania for me.
You know what? Given the way that this match was received, I'm not totally convinced, but I think we're closer to that being a reality than ever.
I think that you're going to see Charlotte, Asuka 2, and Becky versus Ronda, the match that we've all been waiting for.
I'm thinking it's going to go. I think they're going to go triple threat with Ronda, Charlotte, and Becky.
Who do you think
that's
that
closing
leaves
Mania.
Asuka with?
Someone else down the line, but I'm convinced it's going triple threat.
Under Mania giving everybody a payday and making many multi-superstar matches, I can understand that, but I just feel like since we already accidentally got Charlotte versus Ronda, I just feel like Survivor Series.
Yeah, we got it, but we got the adding herself to that main event with the result, because there was no full on victor in that one.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's such a.
I'm sorry, they're gotten themselves so much at each other's throat of both of them wanting Ronda. I'm not convinced one's going to give up without a fight.
At this point, I just think it's
if they're going on with them main eventing WrestleMania with this particular moment.
Yeah, no, I definitely see where you're coming from.
And I said it before. Charlotte is also the Roman Reigns of the women's division. She's going to be Vince is behind her all the way.
I see where you're coming from, and Mania, like I said, it makes sense putting in multi-people matches so everyone gets a paycheck. But I just think it's so much more driven and wanted for a one-on-one between Ronda and Becky Lynch at this point. Because Becky's on fire.
I think Asuka is going to go for either Mandy Rose or Sonya Deville, since they're pushing those two.
Well, I'll tell you what, no matter what happens,
especially Sonya Deville,
this whole ride is going to be one that is probably going to be one of the most interesting to follow on the show today.
And I cannot wait to see it live.
Absolutely.
It's going to be amazing.
But in the meantime, that was the show as it was. What would you give it on the old beard rating scale?
When it comes to the facial hair ratings, I'm going to give this event a full beard. I really enjoyed this show. The only real disappointing factor had to have been Ray and Orton, because I said it last week. What the hell were what were these two going to gain by winning? Nothing. It was just a match, and now we're going to continue with this feud, even though we're not going to see them for the next 2 weeks. But there's nothing really else. It was a slow beginning, but once it hit Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax on, was a completely different show for me, and I was slowly rising up, and like I said, I still need to watch the Dean Ambrose Seth Rollins match, but from what I did see, I really enjoyed it, and this was a great pay-per-view to close out the year.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those shows where when the show fell flat, it fell pretty flat, but when it delivered. It's left it in a safe space on your stoop, left you a note, gave you a text message indication that it was delivered, because it was just delivered so super hard, and the FedEx guy was a bro, and pet your dog, gave him a treat, sent you on your merry way. I'm running out of ways to describe this, but either way, I liked it very much, so I'm going to give it also a full beard, 4 out of 5.
I think you tried too hard.
Yeah, I got lost somewhere in all of those delivery puns.
I like dogs and FedEx. That's all I got to say.
I got to agree with the two of you and give it a full beard. I think aside from Ray and Orton lacking, they could have gone different routes with the whole Braun and Baron Corbin thing. But Didn't happen, and it was